Welcome to Eye on Sci-Fi podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 206 of Eye on Sci-Fi podcast, the podcast where we share with you terrific indie science fiction and fantasy, online short films, web series, and other closely related media. We also, on occasion, have conversations with the interesting and very talented creators who are producing outstanding indie speculative work. Thank you for joining me. I, to be quite honest, am not the biggest fan of horror. And the main reason for that is because for most horror to work, it is predicated on the characters in the story making very stupid and unwise decisions, and it drives me up the wall. However, there are a few horror projects that break the mold in terms of storytelling and perspective. And I have such a horror short film to share with you. The name of the short film is Sword of the Dead by filmmaker Stephen Vitale. Now, in the short, an exiled Ronin returns home to discover his birthplace overrun with zombies due to an evil curse. Now, this is the latest short film by Vitale, whose other short, the Star Wars unofficial fan film Hoshino, is definitely worth a watch, so make sure to go over to the seventhmatrix.com to the short film gallery because we have it featured there. But what I love about Sword of the Dead is that it takes worn out zombie tropes and reinvigorates them by excising the living dead out of Western cultural accoutrements and transplanting them into feudal Japan. And the result is a haunting, beautiful short film that is a homage to both the classic George A. Romero zombie film, Night of the Living Dead, and the movies of renowned Japanese directors Masaki Kobayashi and Akira Kurosawa. A tip of the hat to Vitale, too, for including Japanese artisans on Sword of the Dead and on the production team. His directorial vision and expertise merged together to represent the look and feel of a film from Japan's golden age in the 1950s. Other inspired artistic choices that I really like about Sword of the Dead is that it is shot entirely in pristine black and white, as well as all of the dialogue is spoken in Japanese with English subtitles. And with the miniseries on FX Shogun being a big hit, I think that Sword of the Dead would be a worthwhile watch for any of you all who are enjoying that project. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't call out the riveting performances of Masami Kosaka as the exiled Ronin and Rome Kanda as the old man who warns our hero of the evil that has infested his home. Sword of the Dead is gorgeous, atmospheric, and mesmerizing. It is a zombie action film unlike any you have ever seen. But don't take my word for it. Watch Sword of the Dead. And I will, of course, leave a link to our written review and to the short film itself in the show notes of this episode. Also, while you're visiting the seventhmatrix.com in order to read our review and watch the film, I encourage you also to check out all of the other terrific indie science fiction short films, web series, and other closely related media that we have curated over at the seventhmatrix.com. I also need to ask you for your support, because without the support of kind and generous listeners like yourself, we would not be able to do the work that we do here on Eye on Sci-Fi and over at the Seventh Matrix, and we do appreciate that. We also have a new free daily newsletter that is published Monday through Friday, and this newsletter is a little different from your typical newsletter because it is what I call a micro newsletter. And what I mean by that is that each newsletter will take you under 60 seconds to read. We will publish a single speculative gem that we think you will find interesting. It can be a television series, book, or film recommendation, an essay about the genre that we believe you will find interesting, and more. And of course, for signing up and becoming a subscriber to the newsletter and supporting us, you will also receive a free gift. So you will find all of that information in our link tree that will be included in our show notes as well. Okay, that's it for this episode, everyone. Thank you again for listening. And remember to always take a break, escape the mundane, and enter the fantastic. Until next time, take care.